My name is Willa. I'm 33 years old, and 19 months ago, I vanished from my family's life. I didn't leave a note. I didn't say goodbye. I kept the same phone number I'd had for 12 years. So if anyone wanted to find me, they could. For 19 months, not one of them called. Not on my birthday, not on Thanksgiving, not on Christmas, not once. Until my sister showed up at my empty apartment because she needed a babysitter for the weekend. That's when I mailed the box. And when they opened it in front of a room full of people, my family didn't come after me. They came after each other. Before I tell you what was in that box, I need to take you somewhere first. Not to when I left, not to the night I typed Apartments, Oregon into a search bar at 11 p.m. I need to take you to a Tuesday evening in my mother's kitchen. It is 17 years before any of this. The night I understood, for the first time, what my role in this family was going to be. I was 14 years old. My father had been dead for 3 weeks. The house smelled like casserole dishes no one asked for, and carpet cleaner that couldn't quite cover the grief. My mother sat on the living room couch in the same bathrobe she'd worn for 3 days. She wasn't sleeping. She wasn't crying. She was just staring at a television that wasn't turned on. My sister Kara was 10. She stood in the kitchen doorway, bottom lip going, stomach growling loud enough to hear across the room. "Mom, I'm hungry." Nothing. "Mom." Nothing. I waited. I genuinely waited for my mother to stand up, to move, to do something. She didn't. So I walked to the pantry, macaroni and cheese, the boxed kind, blue box. No, I had never cooked anything by myself before. I turned the box over and read the instructions. Boil water, add pasta, stir. The cheese packet tore wrong and orange powder got all over my shirt. I made 2 bowls, one for Kara, one for Mom. Kara ate at the table. Mom took hers from my hands without looking up from the dark TV screen. "Finally," she said. "Someone's being useful. That's it. No thank you. No, are you okay, baby? You just lost your dad too." No acknowledgement that I was 14 years old, standing in a kitchen trying to keep a house from falling apart from the inside. I washed the pot. I washed the bowls. I wiped the counter. The sponge was old and smelled like mildew. I made a mental note. Buy a new sponge. I was 14 years old, adding buy a new sponge to a list in my head because no one else was going to do it. That night, standing at that sink with dishwater dripping off my hands, I became the person who holds this family together. I didn't volunteer. No one asked. It just happened. And once it starts, you don't know how to stop. Pause. Let it breathe. Fast forward 17 years. I'm 31. I live 12 minutes from my mother's house in a 1-bedroom apartment I pay for entirely on my own. I work as a project manager at a small construction firm. I'm organized. I'm reliable. I'm detail-oriented. I have to be. Because at home, I run a second job that nobody pays me for. On a Sunday night, I open my Google Calendar. It's color-coded. Blue is Mom. Doctor's appointments twice a month because she says she can't keep track. Well, green is Kara's kids. Pick up Lily from school, Tuesdays and Thursdays. Yellow is Saturday babysitting. All 3 kids, Lily, Mason, and Oliver. So Kara and her husband Drew can have their date night. Red is every holiday. Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter, every single birthday. I plan them. I cook for them. I clean up after them. I scroll through 3 months of entries. Every single one has someone else's name attached. Not one belongs to me. Quieter now. I scroll back. 6 months. Same pattern. 12 months. Same. My phone buzzes. Text from Kara. "Can you do Saturday and Sunday this weekend? Drew's in Detroit." I type sure. I hit send. She doesn't reply. No thank you. No how are you. Just the assumption that I'll say yes, because I always say yes. I close the calendar. I stare at the screen. And for the first time, a thought crosses my mind that I can't unthink. When was the last time someone put my name on their calendar? March 12th, my 31st birthday. I wake up, check my phone. Nothing. I shower, get dressed, check again. Nothing. I drive to work, sit at my desk, check at lunch. Nothing. Not a text, not a voicemail, not even one of those generic Facebook posts. After work, I stop at the bakery on East Main. I buy a single red velvet cupcake. I sit in the parking lot and eat it alone. The frosting is good. The moment is not. At 7:15, my phone rings. Mom. My chest lifts. Just for half a second. Maybe she remembered. Maybe tonight is the day she surprises me. Willa, I need you to run to CVS. My prescription is ready and they close at 8. I grip the steering wheel. It's my birthday today, Mom. A pause. Short. Yet not uncomfortable for her. Just empty. Oh, happy birthday. Did you pick up the prescription? I drive to CVS. I pick up her blood pressure medication. I drop it at her door. She takes the bag, says, "Thanks, honey," and closes the door. Doesn't invite me in. Doesn't offer cake. Doesn't mention my birthday again. I sit in her driveway for 3 minutes, engine running, headlights pointing at the garage door. I don't cry. I've never been a crier. But something inside me, some cable that's been holding weight for 17 years, I hear it snap. When I get home, I open my laptop at 11 p.m. I type into the search bar, apartments, Oregon. I don't know why Portland. I've never been. But it's 2,100 miles from this driveway. And right now, that sounds exactly right. I don't book a flight to Portland that night. Oh, I'm not impulsive. I'm a project manager. I plan. But first, I run an experiment. Starting the next morning, I change one thing. Instead of waiting for people to need me, I reach out first. Not with tasks, not with logistics, just as a person. The 214 messages, March 13th. I text Mom. Want to grab lunch Saturday? Just us. No reply. March 19th. I text Kara. Hey, how are you? We haven't just talked in a while. Kara writes back. Can't. Kids are crazy. Then nothing. March 26th. I text Drew. How's the new project going? He sees it. Blue check mark. No response. I keep going. April, May, June, July, August. I send messages to each of them week after week. Want to catch a movie? Mom, I tried a new recipe. Want to come over? Kara, I miss you. Let's do something. Well, just us. How's Mason's ear infection? Happy Father's Day, Drew. I screenshot every single one. Not because I'm building a case. I don't have a plan yet. I just need to know I'm not imagining this. I need proof, for myself, that I'm reaching, and my hand keeps closing around air. By the end of August, I count them. 214 messages sent. 11 replies, all short, all logistical. None asking how I am. 203 messages. Ignored. Let that number land. Pause. Don't rush it. I sit on my bed with my laptop open to a job listing in Portland. Project coordinator at a mid-size firm. Same pay. Full benefits. Start date, October 1st. I look at the screenshots. 214 attempts. Then I look at the listing. The application takes 20 minutes. I submit it before I can talk myself out of it. September. The offer comes through. I give 2 weeks' notice at work. My boss, Greg, shakes my hand and says, Portland's lucky to have you. 5 words. 5 words of genuine acknowledgement from a man I've worked with for 3 years. More than my family had given me in 17. I pack my apartment in stages. Evenings after work, boxes stacked in the living room. Furniture sold on Craigslist to strangers with pickup trucks. One thing I don't do, I don't change my phone number. Same number I've had for 12 years. If anyone in my family wants to reach me, they can. The line works. I'm not hiding. I'm just not chasing anymore. The last night in Columbus, I drive past Mom's house. Lights on in the living room. I can see the TV glow through the curtains. I could stop. Knock on the door. Say goodbye. I keep driving. September 28th. Yet I hook the U-Haul trailer to my car and pull onto I-70 West, Indiana, Iowa, Nebraska, Wyoming, Idaho. 3 days of highway and truck stop coffee. Somewhere in Wyoming, I roll the windows down and scream into the wind for no reason at all. It feels good. It feels like something leaving my body. October 1st. Portland. It's raining. I park outside my new apartment, a second-floor unit in a quiet neighborhood with a Japanese maple in the yard. I sit in the car and breathe, really breathe. No phone buzzing, no calendar alerts, no one needing anything from me. I didn't slam the door. I just stopped holding it open. Month 1. I check my phone every morning. Nothing from Ohio. I tell myself it's early. Maybe they're busy. Maybe Kara's got a cold going through the kids. Maybe Mom's in one of her moods. Month 2. Thanksgiving. And I sit alone in my new apartment with a rotisserie chicken and a can of cranberry sauce. My phone stays silent. No one texts to ask where I am. No one notices the chair is empty. I realize they probably didn't have a Thanksgiving at all. I was the one who organized it. Without me, there's no table to sit around, and nobody thinks to ask why. Month 3. My birthday. March 12th again. 32. I buy myself a cupcake. Red velvet. Same bakery chain. Different state. This time I eat it on my couch instead of in a parking lot. That feels like progress. Naomi, month 4. I meet Naomi Park at work. She's 34, senior designer. On my 3rd week, she stops by my desk and asks, "How was your weekend?" I open my mouth to answer, and I almost cry. Not because the question is emotional, because no one had asked me that in years and actually waited for the answer. Month 5. Naomi and I start hiking on Saturdays. She introduces me to her friend group. We do potlucks. Someone asks me what music I like. I realize I don't know. I've never had time to figure it out. I start therapy. First time ever. My therapist gives me a journaling exercise. She says, "Write down what your life would look like in 5 years if you'd stayed." I sit at my kitchen table and write. If I'd stayed, I'd still be driving Mom to appointments twice a month while she complained about the route I took. I'd still be picking up Lily and Mason from school while Kara texted me the wrong dismissal time. I'd still be babysitting every Saturday so someone else could have a life. I'd be 36, then 40, then 45, with a calendar full of other people's names and a career that never moved because I couldn't stop calling in favors to leave early. I would have lost my 30s. I was already losing them. Then she asks me to write what my life looks like now. 6 months in, my manager Helen calls me into her office. I think I'm in trouble. She says, "We're creating a senior project manager role. I want you for it." I stare at her. "You're the most organized person I've ever worked with." I don't tell her I had 17 years of practice managing a family who never said thank you. Month 19. One evening in April, my phone lights up. Ohio area code, a number I haven't seen in over a year and a half. Method. I stare at it until it stops ringing. Here's what happened on the other end of that call. Kara needs a babysitter. Drew is in Cleveland for a 4-day conference. She wants a spa weekend with her girlfriends, 2 nights, Friday through Sunday. She calls the only number she's ever dialed for free childcare, mine. It rings and rings and rings. She texts, "Hey, need you this weekend? Call me." The message delivers. I don't respond. I'm at pottery class in Portland, hands covered in wet clay, phone on silent in my bag. Kara tries again Saturday morning. Then she does something I did not expect. She drives to my apartment, the one in Columbus, the one I haven't lived in for 19 months. She parks, walks up the stairs, knocks. No answer. She knocks harder. The neighbor across the hall opens her door, a woman named Ruth who's lived there 8 years. "You looking for the girl in 4B? "My sister, Willa." "Oh, honey." She moved out a long time ago, over a year at least, packed a trailer one morning and left. Didn't say where. And here's the part I need you to pay attention to. Kara's first reaction is not concern. But she doesn't ask Ruth, "Did she seem okay?" She doesn't say, "Oh my God, is she safe?" She pulls out her phone, calls Mom, and says, "Did you know Willa moved?" 19 months. Nobody called. Nobody visited. Nobody drove 12 minutes to check. Not until someone needed something from me. And even then, standing in front of my empty apartment, the first question wasn't about me. It was about what I could do for them. The 47 voicemails. Within an hour of Kara's call, my mother picks up her phone and dials my number, the same number that has been sitting in her contacts this entire time. It rings. I see Mom on the screen. I'm on my couch in Portland, reading a book. I watch it ring, and then the voicemails start. Number 1. "Willa, where are you?" "Well, call me back immediately." Number 7. "How dare you leave without telling your mother?" Number 15. "You are the most selfish person I have ever raised." Number 23. "Your father would be ashamed of you." Number 34. "I'm telling everyone what kind of daughter you really are." Number 41. After everything I sacrificed for you. Number 47. If you don't call me back, you are dead to this family. 47 voicemails between Friday night and Sunday evening. I listened to every single one. I took notes. And I noticed something. Not one voicemail asks, "Are you safe?" Not one says, "Are you okay?" Not one single message, out of 47, contains the words, "I'm worried about you." Every message is about her, what I did to her, what I owe her, how I've embarrassed her. I set the phone down. 47 messages, zero concern. And in my closet, on the top shelf, sits a folder I brought with me from Ohio. 214 printed screenshots. I pull it down and set it on the table. I organize it the way I organize everything at work, by recipient, then by date. 3 sections, tabbed with colored dividers. Tab 1, messages to mom, 87 entries, yellow for check-ins. How are you feeling today? Pink for invitations. Want to grab lunch Saturday? Blue for the real ones. Mom, I made your pot roast recipe. Wish you were here to try it. Next to each one, a notation in my handwriting. No reply. Read receipt. No response. Tab 2. Messages to Kara. 94 entries. How's Mason's ear infection? I miss you. Let's do something. Just us. 94 attempts. 88 ignored. Tab 3. Messages to Drew. 33 entries. Brief and friendly. All seen. All unanswered. And at the bottom of each section, a summary. Mom. 4% response rate. Kara, 6%. Drew, 0%. I don't add commentary. I don't write an essay about how they hurt me. I don't attach a guilt trip or a demand. I place one single sheet on top of everything. White paper, black ink, one sentence. I tried 214 times. Here they are. I slide the folder into the box. My mother's address on the front. No return name. Just a Portland, Oregon return address. I tape it shut. Then I set it on the shelf by the door. I'm not sending it yet. There's a reason I'm waiting. And that reason has a birthday coming up. Maggie, my aunt, my mother's older sister, the one who cut contact with my mother years ago for reasons my mother has never acknowledged, calls me on a Tuesday. Your mother is planning Oliver's birthday party. Oh, March 15th. Okay. She's invited everyone. Drew's parents, Kara's friends, the neighbors, the pastor and his wife from church. Mom always liked an audience. That's what I'm calling about. She told Kara she expects you to come to your senses and show up. And if you don't, she's planning to give a speech in front of everyone about how you abandoned the family. I stop folding laundry. She wants the crowd there when she announces it. She's been rehearsing it to me on the phone. Words like ungrateful and selfish and what I sacrificed. The whole performance. She's setting a stage. She wants to be the victim in a room full of witnesses. I sit on the edge of the bed. I look across the apartment toward the front door. The box sits on the shelf, taped shut, addressed, waiting. When's the party? I ask. March 15th. Saturday afternoon. I do the math. USPS priority mail from Portland to Columbus. 2 to 3 business days. If I mail it Wednesday the 12th, it arrives Thursday or Friday, maybe Saturday morning. Are you going to come? Maggie asks. No. Good, I wasn't going to tell you to. Wednesday, March 12th. My 33rd birthday. Nobody calls. I'm not even disappointed anymore. That part's over. I drive to the post office on Hawthorne Boulevard. The line is short. 2 people ahead of me. I hold the box under my arm. It's lighter than you'd think. Just paper. The clerk is a woman in her 50s with reading glasses on a chain. She weighs the box, types the zip code. Priority mail, should arrive Friday, maybe Saturday. Saturday works. Anything fragile in here? I look at the box. No, nothing fragile, just the truth. The truth is the sturdiest thing I've ever held. She prints the label. I pay. She places it on the conveyor belt behind her. And just like that, it's gone. Moving through a system. Zip code to zip code, Portland to Columbus. From the person who tried to the people who didn't notice. I walk back to my car. The rain has stopped. My phone buzzes. Naomi. Happy birthday. Dinner tonight. I'm cooking. I smile. Someone remembered. Someone who's known me 18 months. Remembered what my family forgot 2 years running. Saturday, March 15th, Columbus, Ohio. I'm not there. But I know that house like I know my own hands. The front porch with the creaky second step. The living room that smells like Yankee Candle and old carpet. The kitchen where I stood at 14 making boxed macaroni while my mother sat in the dark. When today that kitchen is decorated for Oliver's 3rd birthday. Dinosaur tablecloth, green balloons, a store-bought cake with Happy Birthday Oliver in blue frosting, because no one knew how to order from the bakery I always used. The house is full. Gerald and Linda Bellamy, Drew's parents, sit in the living room making small talk. 3 of Kara's friends from her mommy group cluster around the kitchen island. Pastor David and his wife Ellen stand by the back door holding paper plates. Kara moves through the room managing 3 children under 8 while trying to look calm. She's not. This is the first party she's ever organized alone. The napkins don't match the plates. The playlist is wrong. The timing is off. She catches herself thinking, Willa would have handled this. And then the thought makes her jaw clench instead of her heart ache. My mother stands in the center of the room like she's about to give the State of the Union. Hair done, lipstick on. She's been waiting for this crowd. On the hallway table, between a bowl of keys and a framed family photo from 2011, sits a cardboard box. Return address. Portland, Oregon. Nobody's opened it yet. The cake is cut. Oliver smashes frosting into his mouth. Everyone laughs. And then my mother raises her glass of lemonade and taps it with a spoon. Before we go any further, I want to say something. The room settles. Kara freezes by the kitchen counter. Drew stares at the floor. As some of you know, my older daughter, Willa, made a choice to leave this family without a word. She moved away. We still don't know exactly where. She hasn't contacted any of us in almost 2 years. Mrs. Patterson, 20 years of friendship, sets her plate down. Linda Bellamy tilts her head. Pastor David folds his hands. I raised that girl. I gave her everything a mother could give. A home, stability, love. And she repaid me by abandoning her mother, her sister, and these 3 beautiful children who adore her. A pause. The room silent. But we don't need her. We have each other. And that's what family means. Showing up, not running away. Scattered applause. Mrs. Patterson murmurs, That's terrible, Judith. One of Kara's friends puts a hand on Kara's arm. You're so strong. 15 people in a room. My mother has successfully painted herself as the grieving matriarch, and me as the ungrateful daughter. Not one person in that room has heard my side. Then Gerald Bellamy, Drew's father, 71 years old, retired electrician, the kind of man who speaks once and means it, points to the hallway table. Judith, somebody sent you a package. Return address says Portland, Oregon. Every head in the room turns. My mother walks to the hallway table. She picks up the box. It's light. She turns it over. No name on the return. Just a Portland address. It's from her, Kara says quietly. My mother carries it back to the dining table. She slides her thumbnail under the packing tape, pulls the flaps open. Inside, a folder. Thick, neatly organized with 3 colored divider tabs. On top of everything, a single white sheet of paper. My mother picks it up and reads it aloud. Maybe out of instinct. Maybe because she still has an audience and doesn't know what she's holding. I tried 214 times. Here they are. She stares at the page, flips it over, blank on the back. She pulls out the first section of the folder and starts reading. Her face changes. Not all at once. It's a slow drain, like watching color leave a room when the sun goes behind a cloud. She flips one page, then another, then another. Her hand begins to tremble. Mom, what is it? Judith doesn't answer. Kara reaches over and pulls the folder toward her. She opens the second tab, her section. She reads the first page, her own name at the top, a screenshot of a text she received 8 months ago, highlighted in pink. Hey, how are you? We haven't just talked in a while. Notation in my handwriting. No reply. She turns the page. Another message. Another highlight. Another. No reply. Page after page. 94 messages. Her name on every one. The room is silent. Gerald Bellamy reaches over and picks up the third tab. Drew's section. 33 messages. All seen, all ignored. He reads one, then looks at his son. Yet Drew won't meet his eyes. Mrs. Patterson is the first to speak. She's known our family for 20 years. She brought a casserole when my dad died. She watched me mow my mother's lawn every Saturday for a decade. Judith, she says it carefully. She texted you 87 times. My mother's mouth opens. Nothing comes out. 87 times and you didn't answer once. Those texts don't mean anything. She was just 87 messages, Mrs. Patterson repeats. Her voice is flat and factual, which is worse. And you just told this room she left without a word. Linda Bellamy looks up from Drew's section. She looks at her son. You saw these? You read them and didn't respond? Linda, this is between 33 messages. Well, my son read 33 messages from a person in this family and said nothing. Pastor David whispers to his wife. She nods. We should go, he says gently. Thank you for the party. They leave their plates on the counter and walk out. One of Kara's friends picks up her purse, then another. The room is emptying, not in a rush, but in that slow, deliberate way people leave when they don't want to be part of what comes next. This is what she does, Kara says to what's left of the room. She manipulates. She planned this. But the room isn't listening anymore. The folder sits open on the table. Pages fanned out. Dates, highlights, notations. 214 messages in my handwriting, with timestamps. There's no version of the story where I'm the villain. Not anymore. The guests are gone. Old Oliver is asleep on the couch with frosting on his chin. Lily and Mason are in the backyard, oblivious. The adults remain. Judith, Kara, Drew, Gerald, Linda. Nobody sits down. The folder lies open in the center of the dining table, like a wound. My mother points at Kara. You are her sister. You live 10 minutes away. How did you not know? Kara's eyes go wide. Me? Are you serious? You're her mother. You live 12 minutes from her apartment and you didn't notice for 19 months. I have health issues, Kara. I can't be expected to— What health issues? Blood pressure. Willa managed your blood pressure. She picked up your prescriptions. She drove you to every appointment. The words hang in the air. Judith's mouth snaps shut. Kara has never spoken to her mother like this. Not once in 29 years. Lord Gerald turns to Drew, low and measured. The voice of a man who built things with his hands for 40 years and doesn't waste words. Son, you read those messages. Everyone in this room ignored her messages, Dad. I'm not talking about everyone. I'm talking about you. Drew has no answer. I didn't raise you to be the kind of man who sees someone reaching out and looks the other way. And I didn't see you calling Willa either, Mom, Drew says quietly. The room splinters. Judith blames Kara. Kara blames Judith. Gerald blames Drew. Drew blames everyone. Linda turns on Gerald. The finger-pointing moves in circles. And the one thing nobody does, nobody picks up the phone to call me. I'm on the couch with Naomi. We're watching a documentary about deep-sea creatures, something calm and blue and far away from Ohio. But my phone buzzes on the coffee table. Ohio area code. Then again, then 3 times in a row. Mom, Kara, Mom, Kara, Mom. Naomi looks over. You okay? Yeah, it's just family. She nods. Doesn't push. Doesn't demand. She just sits next to me and passes the popcorn. I put the phone face down. We watch a squid pulse through black water. Later, after Naomi leaves, I check. 2 new voicemails. Mom. Willa, how could you do this on Oliver's birthday? You humiliated me in my own home. Everyone saw it. Mrs. Patterson looked at me like I was— Still not. Are you okay? Kara. I can't believe you did this. Drew's parents are barely speaking to us. His dad hasn't looked at him all night. Are you happy? Is this what you wanted? I set the phone down. I look at the ceiling. Am I happy? No, I'm not happy. That's not what this is. But I didn't send that folder to win a game. I sent it because I tried talking for 5 months and nobody listened. I sent it because my mother stood in a room full of people and called me ungrateful, and the only way to answer was to show them what I actually did. I tell Naomi the next morning over coffee. I sent them something. The truth, basically. Mad at you or mad at each other? Both, but mostly each other. I learn what happens next through Maggie. Kara creates a family group text. The thread goes like this. Kara, we need to figure out what to tell people. Judith, tell them Willa is unwell. Kara, she's not unwell, Mom. She's angry. Judith, she has no right to be angry. I did everything for that girl. Drew, actually, I think she does have the right. Kara, whose side are you on? Drew, there are no sides. Hey, Kara, there are 214 messages. Drew, Kara, I didn't reply to a single one. That's my point. Judith, enough. I will handle this myself. I always do. Kara, you always do, Mom? Willa always did. That's literally the entire problem. The thread dies. Nobody resolves anything. Nobody proposes calling me. Nobody suggests therapy or a family meeting or even a simple, what if we apologized? They argue about the optics. They argue about who looks worse. They argue about damage control, not about me, about themselves. Then Drew does something off script. He gets my number from Maggie. He sends me a private text. Willa, I'm sorry. I should have responded to your messages. I don't have an excuse. I just want you to know I see it now. I read it sitting on my bed. The rain taps against the window. Well, it's the first message from anyone in my family in 19 months that takes responsibility without blaming someone else. No, but your mother, or but Kara said. Just, I'm sorry. I see it. I don't reply yet. But I don't delete it either. Some things need time before you know what to do with them. Word spreads the way it always does in a small community. Not through announcements, through casserole dishes and church parking lots and the soft voices of women who say, I probably shouldn't tell you this, but Mrs. Patterson tells her sister. Her sister attends the same women's Bible study as the pastor's wife. By the following Sunday, every woman in my mother's church has heard some version of the story. And the version that sticks? Not Willa abandoned her family. What the version that sticks is, her daughter sent 200 texts and nobody answered. She moved across the country and they didn't notice for a year and a half. That's the version that sticks, because it's the version that's true. My mother feels it before anyone says it to her face. The way conversations stop when she enters a room. The way Mrs. Patterson waves from across the yard but doesn't walk over. The way the women's ministry coordinator calls to say Judith's leadership role is under review. Nobody confronts her. Nobody has to. The quiet is louder than any accusation. Then Judith calls Maggie in desperation. Margaret, you have to help me. Talk to Willa. Tell her to call me. I told you 10 years ago, Judith. You treat your children like they work for you. I said it then and you stopped speaking to me for 3 years. So I'm not getting in the middle of something I already warned you about. But everyone is seeing what I've been seeing for decades. That's not my problem to fix. Judith hangs up. For the first time in longer than she can remember, she sits alone in her house. No one is coming over. No one is calling. The phone is silent. Now she knows what that feels like. 3 weeks after the party, Tuesday evening. My phone rings. Drew. I let it ring twice. Then I pick up. Neither of us speaks for 5 seconds. I wait. He called me. He goes first. I'm not calling because Kara told me to. She doesn't know I'm doing this. Okay. My dad showed me those messages at the party. I mean, I'd already seen your text to me, but reading them all together, all 200 of them in order with the dates. He pauses. Oh, I couldn't sleep for 3 days. I don't fill the silence. I've learned that silence is the most honest space in a conversation. People say what they really mean when you stop talking first. You texted me about my project, Drew continues. You asked how Detroit went. You wished me Happy Father's Day. And I just didn't reply. I saw them, Willa. I read every single one, and I did nothing. I don't have an excuse for that. Thank you for saying that, Drew. The kids miss you. Lily drew you a picture last week. It's a house with purple flowers. My chest tightens. I miss them too, but I'm not coming back to fix things that aren't mine to fix. I know. What do you need from us? I need you to stop treating me like I'm on staff. If we're going to have a relationship, now it's because we choose it, not because someone needs free childcare on a Saturday. That's fair. And I need you to pass that message along, exactly as I said it. Not Kara's version. Mine. I will. A week after Drew's call, my phone rings. Mom. I don't answer. But this time, the voicemail she leaves is different. Willa. A long pause. I read through all of them last night. Every message. I sat at the kitchen table and went through every single page. Her voice is thinner than I've ever heard it. No sharpness, no accusation, just tired. I didn't realize there were so many. I mean, I knew you texted, but I thought it was just the usual reminders. Logistics. I didn't realize you were reaching out, actually reaching out. Another pause. I hear her swallow. There's one from April 14th of last year. You wrote, Mom, I made your pot roast recipe. Wish you were here to try it. And I saw it in the folder. I never answered that. You made my pot roast and you wanted to share that with me, and I never said a word. Silence. 10 seconds. 15. I'm not going to say I was wrong because I don't know how to say that. I never learned how to say that. But I saw it, Willa. I saw all of it, and I don't know what to do now. The voicemail ends. I sit in my living room and play it back. Twice. 3 times. I listen for the performance. The Judith voice. The one who turns every conversation into a monologue about her own suffering. But this time, I don't hear it. This time, she sounds like a 61-year-old woman sitting alone at a table with 200 pages of proof that her daughter loved her. And she didn't look up. I don't call back. No, not yet. But I open my journal and write, first message that sounds like a person instead of a warden. That night, I write an email. 2 recipients. Judith Myers, Cara Bellamy. Subject, where I stand. 5 points. No more, no less. 1, I am safe. I am well. I live in Portland, Oregon. 2, I left because no one in this family saw me as a person. I was a function, a babysitter, a driver, a planner, a mediator. When the function stopped, no one noticed the person was gone. That told me everything I needed to know. 3, I am open to rebuilding relationships, but not the old ones, not on the old terms. 4, my conditions are simple. No guilt tripping, no voicemails about what I owe, no using the children as leverage, no social media posts about me. If any of these are violated, I will extend no contact indefinitely. 5, I love you. That's why I tried 214 times before I left. But love without respect isn't love, it's a job. And I quit. I read it over once. I don't soften it. I don't add, but I hope you understand, or I'm sorry if this hurts. I've spent 33 years cushioning every word to make other people comfortable. This email is for me. I hit send. I close the laptop. I put on my coat and go for a walk in the rain. 6 months later, September, Portland. The rain is back. I've made peace with rain the way I've made peace with a lot of things. Here's where everyone stands. Judith started therapy, not because she wanted to, because Pastor David suggested it gently, and she respects him enough to listen. She sent me one email, short, no guilt, no demands. I'm working on myself. Yeah, that's all I can say right now. I read it twice. I don't respond. I'm not ready, but I save it. Cara. We haven't spoken since the phone call where she hung up. But through Drew, I hear things. She hired a babysitter, actually pays someone, manages her own calendar, drives herself to the grocery store. Drew says it's the hardest thing Cara has ever done. I believe him. It's hard to learn at 29 what you should have been doing all along. Drew became the quiet bridge. He sends me photos of the kids every week or 2. No expectations. No, when are you coming home? Just moments. Lily's art project. Mason riding a bike. Oliver in a Halloween costume. I started replying. 1 photo at a time. It's not a door flung open. It's a window cracked an inch. And that's enough for now. A Thursday evening in October. I'm standing in my kitchen in Portland. The apartment smells like home. Or what home should have smelled like. Pot roast. Mom's recipe. The one she got from her mother. Handwritten on an index card with a coffee stain in the corner. Carrots, onion, thyme, a splash of red wine. Low and slow for 4 hours. Naomi comes over for dinner. She walks in and stops in the doorway. Oh my God, that smells incredible. Where'd you learn this? My mom, I say it simply. No edge, no irony. She taught you well. We sit down. She says, "This is the best thing I've ever tasted." And she means it. After dinner, I wash the dishes. I stand at the sink, hands in warm water, and for a second, I'm 14 again. Same posture, same motion, but everything else is different. The house is mine. Although the meal was my choice. And when I turn around, there's someone sitting at the table who says, "Thank you." 2 words. I waited 17 years to hear them. Later in bed, I open my phone. I type a text to my mother. "I made your pot roast tonight. It turned out good." I stare at it. 10 seconds. 15. My thumb hovers over send. I press it. 3 minutes later, a reply. "I'm glad, sweetheart." 2 words. No guilt. No lecture. No "when are you coming home?" Just warmth. Small, imperfect, uncertain warmth. Maybe that's where it starts. Maybe that's where it stays. Either way, I'm okay tonight. I didn't leave my family to punish them. I need you to know that. I left because I needed to find out if I existed outside of what I did for them. I needed to know. Would anyone notice if I stopped showing up? Would anyone call? Would anyone check? The answer took 19 months. Not one phone call, not one birthday text, not one knock on the door 12 minutes away. That was my answer. And it hurt. I won't pretend it didn't. But I'd rather have a clear answer that hurts than a comfortable lie that keeps me trapped. The package wasn't revenge. I didn't write a single angry word. I didn't say, "Look what you did to me." I just printed what I'd already said, 214 messages they'd already received, and sent it back. A mirror. That's all it was. And when they looked into it, they didn't see a villain. They saw themselves. If you're the person in your family who holds everything together, the one who plans the holidays, remembers the birthdays, drives the appointments, mediates the fights, picks up the phone every time it rings, I need you to hear this. Your value is not measured by how useful you are. You are not a function. You are not a service. You are a person. And if the people around you can't tell the difference, that is not your problem to solve. Set your limits even if they call you selfish, especially if they call you selfish, because the people who call you selfish for having needs are the ones who benefited most from you having none. My name is Willa Myers. I'm 33 years old. I live in Portland, Oregon. And for the first time in my life, if I disappeared, somebody would notice. That's my story. If this hit close to home, drop a comment right now. Tell me, are you the Willa in your family? Or did this story make you realize there's a Willa you've been overlooking? Either way, I want to hear it. And if you're new here, subscribe. There are more stories like this one waiting for you. And remember, your silence doesn't mean you're okay. Sometimes it just means nobody asked. Thank you for being here.